Good. Where am I sitting?
Here.
And facing that way?
Facing that way.
What am I, AC Slater?
Open your legs.
What does it say by the bell? It means a lot. It was always a goal of mine to play 1,000 games. I obviously hoped it was going to be in the NHL, but to play 1,000 pro games is a big accomplishment, especially from where I was drafted. Being a 9th round pick, a lot of people don't even expect you to play one pro game, and to play 1,000 means a lot to me. Yeah, I don't know the reason why North America, it's just regular season games. My guess would just be pension reasons, the way the NHL used to run things. It used to be 400 or 500 regular season games and you got a full pension. So maybe it was because playoffs games were bonus games. I don't know why, but it seems in Europe it's all games. You know, I even know some European guys I played with in the NHL that joked they counted World Championship games or national team games. So it's just interesting the difference between Europe and North American.
And here's Hansel, look at him win a battle. He sends it across, score! What a setup! Hansel to Winnik! And Daniel Winnik gets his first NHL goal in his very first NHL game.
I remember the whole process like it was yesterday. I mean, I remember the lead up to that game is after the last preseason game, we knew there was going to be some cuts, and it was in, we played the Avalanche. And it's kind of funny, I think most guys, I don't know, but I had a moment in that game where you question, can I play in the NHL? Can I not? Am I going to make the team? And I remember lining up against Joe Sakic, who was still playing at the time. And I said to myself, you know, I could play against this guy. And then we had the flight home, and Wayne called myself and my line mate at the time, Craig Weller, up and told us that we were going to be in the lineup Thursday night against the St. Louis Blues, and we earned it. And I remember being in the locker room before that game, and there might have been 5 or 6 rookies that were playing. And I said, you know, one of us is going to get it tonight. One of us is going to get our first goal. And just so happened to be me, but I was playing with 2 other rookies. And if you see the clip, I mean, they do a phenomenal job to set me up. Marty Hansel, I think, is still with Dallas. You know, it gave me a tap in for a goal, and it was an unbelievable feeling. It's just like complete joy and excitement and happiness. I mean, it's at the time of your career, it's the biggest goal you've ever scored. Unless you've scored like a game-winning goal for a national championship or Memorial Cup or something leading up to that, but I had it, and it was one of the best feelings. Good question. I don't know if Wayne gave much advice. I think he'd try and help you with stuff, but I think he just saw the game at such a higher level than everybody else. I think it was tough for him to relay and teach me things, but I think he did a good job of managing everybody and expectations. And I think at the time I was just so happy to be in the NHL and naive to the fact that the great one was my coach, and to try and get some inside information from him really wasn't in my mind at the time. But going back, if I could go back in time, I would have done a lot more and asked him more questions for sure. Yeah, it was. At the time in free agency, I went after my years in Anaheim. I went unsigned for a long time, longer than I had anticipated and expected, and kind of had a choice between Toronto and another team, and really the draw was to play for the hometown team. It was my favorite team growing up. You know, I watched, a lot of people don't know these names, but Doug Gilmour and Wendell Clark, my glory days with the Leafs, and Matt Sundin, and it was, Wendell Clark was especially someone I kind of modeled my game after. And to see the creativity of Doug Gilmour growing up was something I idolized as well. So the ability to be able to sign with them and play them and be close to home and have my parents watch every game. I think my dad, I joked with him the one time, I said, I think you're going to set a record for the most amount of home games, because he came to every single one. It was unbelievable to have them there, and then to sign back for another 2 seasons after my first was meant a lot as well, that they wanted to bring me back after trading me at the deadline. Well, greatest pride I think is just the ability to find a niche in the league and play for as long as I did. I think that's the hardest part of breaking into the NHL or staying, is finding a way to be a contributor to the team when you're not scoring. And I think I did a good job of that, of being a good penalty killer and a good checker, to be able to stay around as long as I did. And biggest regret, I mean, is not scoring a playoff goal and helping my team advance in the playoffs. That's one thing I constantly think about, and I don't know, it just seemed like the worst timing for getting into a slump, and it was in playoff time. Well, the opportunity was there the previous year to come over to Europe, but I wanted to still play in the NHL, and then I knew after that season it was always something that I wanted to do when my NHL career would be over, would be come to Europe, and the opportunity was come to play for Geneva. Chris brought me over after I didn't get an opportunity with the Bruins after attending training camp, and I don't regret it. It's been one of the best decisions of my hockey career so far.
Tir d'Outer-Sander, sauvetage héroïque de Berton qui s'est jeté, contre-attaque à 2 contre 0 pour Genève-Servette, et c'est le but! Le but de Daniel Winnik!
Yeah, this is up there for one of the most memorable goals of my career for sure. Even though it was a regular season game, it's to me, we have the rivalries of Lausanne and Fribourg for proximity, but Bern is our biggest one, if you ask me. I don't know if it's because we played them in the playoffs the year before, but it's always a team that I think the fans really want to see us beat, and we as players do as well. And it was such a crazy game to come out of the box after taking an undisciplined penalty and have a 2-on-0 with Roger. It was a huge goal in that game, and the fans were going crazy. I don't think he realized how much fans bring to a sport and sports in general, the excitement in the building, and how much they can change momentum and affect a road team and intimidate them. And I think you've really seen that this year. I think it's easier to play in road arenas, and I'm sure teams feel the same way coming here. It's probably easier for them to play with us without our supporters cheering us on. I was extremely proud of how we finished my first year here, how we got into the playoffs on what seemed like a miracle run, and we're a couple bounces away, you could say, from taking Bern to Game 7 or even maybe winning that series. That first season was unbelievable to finish to it. It's one of the bigger accomplishments I could say a team I've been on has done. That was awesome. I mean, when I first came over, I didn't even know how the Spengler Cup selection went, and guys had said that if you're Canadian, you're pretty much on the Spengler Cup team, but I didn't believe him. I was like, okay, well, I still got to play well to be on, and then I was invited, and I was never had the opportunity to represent Canada in any form, so I was very excited, and it's an unbelievable time. I mean, being up in Davos in the mountains and Christmas, and Hockey Canada does a phenomenal job of taking care of you and your family for that whole experience. And it was unfortunate the first one that we lost, but I had the opportunity to go back again last year, and to get that win was extremely exciting. Yeah, Sonny's great. I mean, man, he means so much to me. Keeps me company at home, gets me out of the house, especially during this season, during COVID, where there's not much to do. He's a reason for me to get out and go for some long walks or just enjoy the weather. And he's by my side everywhere I go, and I'm happy that he's there and grateful that I have him as a dog. No matter what people say, if you can't do it, I think it just provides you some more motivation. I was told that my whole life, that it's too hard to make the NHL, it's too difficult to be a pro hockey player, and I think you can use that as motivation to drive your goals. I think you listen to a lot of successful people, even in business, that's what drives them to be better. And even if you want to be a pro hockey player, I think it helps you even advance further levels, and not always to get to pro, but you could play go to North America, play college hockey, but I think the camaraderie and connections you make during that climb to become a professional go a long way in your life.